Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. On behalf of our director, Gary Gillette, and members of your Missoula City Band, Bill Roach here saying welcome to tonight's concert.
Kids, how are ya?
Very special concert tonight, but aren't they all? But this one I really like. We've got Mr. Gary Herbig in visiting from California. And what a treat it is to hear him play. Also, on my left, that would be your right, we've got some real nice young ladies who are trying to help out Auntie and the mom who has come down with some serious health problems, and they're selling some stuff over there at a real good price. So check it out and try to help them out. They're really nice kids. And yes.
You got the bark of approval. The bark of approval.
Okay, kill their mics, Jay. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join us now as we pay homage to our nation with the playing of our national anthem. Well, the end of July seems to be a good birthday time for a number of people. We've got 4 of them today that we know of. And if you're in the audience and didn't let us know, well, this birthday song will also go out for you. Happy birthday, Mike Rosbarsky, which I believe is the 30th, the end of this week. In the back there, one of our youthers. We got an alto saxophone player who's having a birthday this week, Liz Dellinger. Wave hello, Liz. And in our trombone section, the birthday this week, Don Gieselbeck. And his mom, Evelyn, her birthday is today. Where's Evelyn? Happy birthday, Evelyn. Let's play some music for these folks. I forgot. Don has a tradition. He tries to ski on his birthday. Where are you going? Glacier Park. He's going to be skiing at the end of July in Glacier Park. Good for him. Our first march is new to us. Robert Nathaniel Dett was born in 1882, died in 1943, composer, organist, pianist, and music professor. Born in Canada, he spent most of his professional career in the United States. During his lifetime, he was a leading black composer known for his use of African American folk songs and spirituals as the basis for choral and piano compositions in the 19th century romantic style of classical music. In other words, you can whistle it. Good stuff. An outstanding director and pianist, Dett performed at Carnegie Hall and the Boston Symphony Hall as a pianist and choral director. Here's one of his earliest published pieces. This is a classic march written in 1902, Cave of the Winds. Well, this is an old war horse of ours. This was a favorite of Alex Stepsonoff a long time ago. He would play this every year, and we have put it away for a while. We're going to bring it back out. This is the Poet and Peasant Overture by Franz von Suppé. Here's an Austrian composer of light operas from the Kingdom of Dalmatia and Austro-Hungarian Empire. He was a composer and conductor of the Romantic period, noted for his 4 dozen operettas. While the operators are seldom performed outside of Germany and Austria, the overtures are light classic masterpieces and are a mainstay of pop's orchestras throughout the world. Here's our soupe of the day, the Poet and Peasant Overture. Hey, back, down. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our guest soloist tonight. If you've ever heard the clarinet solo on the television program Cheers, then you've already been treated to the musical talents of saxophone soloist Gary Herbig. Born in Missoula, Montana, and raised on a 40-acre ranch at the foot of Paddy Canyon, Herbig and his family lived in a one-room building with a wood stove and kerosene lamps. In the fifth grade, his music teacher, Roy Lyman, chose the clarinet for him. The Herbigs were a prominent musical family of professional musicians, so at 14 he joined the union and began working. He attended the University of Montana on a clarinet scholarship and then moved to Hollywood in 1969. As a studio musician, he is are we supposed to tune to that? Is that our tuning note? And he's played, as a studio musician, he has played on hundreds of movies and TV shows and more than 1,000 records. 1,000 records, ladies and gentlemen. Aside from Cheers, his TV works includes Knots Landing, The Young and the Restless, Roseanne, Home Improvement, and Showtime at the Apollo. Currently, he can be heard every Sunday night on the Warner Brothers TV series Seventh Heaven. His two solo albums, Gary Herbig and Friends to Lovers, reached the top 10 on the Billboard Contemporary Jazz charts. He's toured with Tower of Power, Lee Ritenour, Seawind, David Benoit, Percy Faith Orchestra, and Elvis Presley, as well as the big bands of Buddy Rich, Toshiro Aikishoki, and someone, Don Ellis, Buddy Rodriguez, and Ed Shaughnessy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's such a thrill to welcome Gary Herbig to our stage. Tonight, he's going to solo Earl's famous Harlem Nocturne. You're in for a treat, folks.
Hold on to your socks if you're wearing them.
How do we top that? Well, we can't. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, you will not hear that solo played any better than what you've just heard this evening. Thank you, Gary. Earl Hagen's Harlem Nocturne. Well, now we go from the sublime to the absolute ridiculous.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play the chicken dance. And I did not know this. It's also known as the birdie song or the chicken song. And it's a polka, it's a fad dance. It's now a contemporary dance throughout the Western world.
Anybody else, I dare ya.
And if you want to dance the chicken dance with these great folks,
Come on.
you're welcome to come up in front of the stage and do this.
Come on, Alex.
Just remember, it's being filmed. So here's our polka, the chicken dance.
Good one. Good one.
Sardar chickens are going to pass the Band-Aid bag among you folks, and they are not looking for chicken feed. Shake them down, gals. Get a bunch of money. Seriously, folks, you're so generous to us. Thank you so much. Well, our next number is by a Russian composer, Ippolitov Ivanov. His works included operas, orchestral music, chamber music, and a large number of songs. His style is similar to that of his teacher, Rimsky-Korsakov. With the exception of his orchestral suite, Caucasian Sketches, written in 1894, which includes the much excerpted Procession of the Sardar, his music is rarely heard today. Well, we're going to play the Procession of the Sardar, and maybe we're going to bump them up a couple in the charts by playing that today. So here's Ippolitov Ivanov's Procession of the Sardar.
Nice pronunciation, Bill. And we're doing it on a special request for many of us. Remember our former announcer, George Goodrich. One of his boys is back on vacation. Samuel's sitting in the trumpet section. Say hi, Sam. One of George's boys, and this was a favorite of George's as well.
going to ask Gary to step up again, and this time he's going to solo on the flute. He's quite a flutist that plays the flute. And actually, I did that on mistake a number of years ago, but I kept it in the repertoire because I thought it was good. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you've all heard this next song. This is The Flight of the Bumblebee by
Rimsky-Korsakov of Korsakov.
Korsakov, who was the teacher of, what was his name? Ipana Toothpaste. The composer of our last piece.
No, sorry.
Anyway, this is going to be The Flight of the Bumblebee with Gary on the flute. Our next march is new to us. We haven't played this one before, although we've had it for a while in our folder. This is Balloonograph. I had a friend in Indiana that played with the Brazil city band, Brazil, Indiana. And they championed Fred Jewell's marches, marches and writing. Fred Jewell was one of our top band composers. Anyway, Mr. Eisenberg showed up, knew Fred Jewell, showed up, and he was quite smashed. He didn't have a problem. He had a problem. And Fred Jewell got him tried out and found out he was quite a businessman. Fred Jewell owned, in addition to writing marches, owned a publishing house. So Mr. Eisenberg ran the publishing house for him and also wrote some 26 marches, 10 overtures, and 21 others, such as serenades, waltzes, and all that stuff. Here's Balloonograph March. It's a favorite of circus bands, written in 1923 by Mr. R.B. Eisenberg. How about another march? Yes! New to us again, this is an H.C. Miller march. He was a noted composer and publisher of band music. A contemporary of our beloved George Rosencrantz, his publishing house published some 16 works written by Mr. Rosencrantz. Mr. Miller's grandson was in contact with the city band and asked if we could play one of his grandfather's marches. We are going to oblige today. Here's a good solid piece of march writing in the classic form, Solid Front by H.C. Miller of Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
We'd like to dedicate this to a wonderful band supporter who came out with the city of Missoula today and helped us. Thank you, Kathleen Kimball, right down front. Bless you.
one of the most popular television shows that air, and it's still airing in reruns, is the Andy Griffith Show. The show's theme music, The Fishing Hole, was composed by Earl Hagen, who also wrote our previous work that Gary played, Harlem Nocturne.
Same dude.
Now Gary tells the story that they hired a professional whistler, you know, the opening scene, da-da-da-da, and the professional whistler was not very professional and didn't show up. So, believe it or not, the recording you hear is the composer whistling, and quite a great job he does. Earl Hagen whistled the openings to the theme song. Now, this has had quite an influence on American culture. As a matter of fact, Mr. Gillette, whenever he's in a quandary and wants to know what to do, he sits back and says, "What would Goober do in a situation like this?" Figures it out and proceeds. And look where it's got him. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Andy Griffith Show theme, The Fishing Hole.
And you are welcome to whistle along, kids.
Gary also passed on a interesting trivia point. When Earl Hagen retired, Michael Jackson bought his house. So the man must have made some money from his publications. And well deservedly so. Well, ladies and gentlemen, all good things must come to an end. We're at our last number, folks. Thanks to Jay Straw and crew, our audio folks from Sound High Tech Audio, Ron Toll from MCAT, and of course, our good friend, who's barking right now, our good friend and special guest artist, Gary Herbig. We're going to try to make him promise to come out again next year. All right. Now, our last number is a compilation of famous circus marches. Here's Screamers.
Bless you. It's time to go home. Right on time. Come on. Medication time, 9 p.m. Let's go home and take our medication. Thank you, kids. We'll see you in a week's time.